Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron. It could possibly go a different way with LeBron.
I want to revisit something about college. You mentioned you knew which college to go to. You told a great story on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, Carmelo Anthony's podcast, about Hall of Fame coach Jim Boeheim visiting you and your mom. Straight up says, hey, look, I want you, but you're not going to start. You're like, what is going on here? Bobby Cremins comes. He goes, carte blanche, you can do whatever you, take the ball, do whatever you want. You said, Georgia Tech is for me, we'll see you later.
100%.
One of the interesting things, and I'm a Syracuse alumnus, I should probably state that first and foremost.
It's deep.
My first memory of Syracuse basketball is that 96 team led by John Wallace. They, of course, go to the championship game. They lose to Kentucky. Have you ever gone back and thought, like, what if I had done things differently? Would I have been a part of that team?
Nah.
Could I have been the one to put them over the hump?
Never. Never in my life. This is the first time I even was asked that, and it never crossed. I don't look at it like, I mean, if you could win in college, you got to be super duper lucky. You got to have a really, really good team in college, and you need a lot of good things to go your way. Injuries, everybody on the same page, because college championship is not, that's different. It's special, and it's only for the people that's for. Okay, it's not like the NBA where you could go get the best players and you could do such and such. When you got to go recruit and you got to go out and talk to kids, to get kids to come to your school and do it that's a whole process. And then you get all of these kids to come. And then now you got all these kids on campus. And then now you got to take all of these kids and you got to get them to think completely different with the other kids that were already in college. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to do when I went to college. And I'm giving my description inside of a story of all of the stuff that have to happen in order for you to win a championship. So if you win a championship in college, you're lucky. Jalen Brunson and them, those kids are super lucky. That's why I love them and why I support them big time, for real, along with what Leon and Wes are doing. And, Dolan is letting them, we want to win. That's why I'll say it like that. We want to win. And these guys, that energy, that winning style, I can go watch that and support that when I watch those guys play, because when I watch them play from how they played in college, they play the same way as a group to try to win. And that's, when you playing, I don't care what people think, we don't go on the court to try to lose. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to lose. Everybody want to win. Nobody likes losing when they go on the court. You don't want to work as hard as you work to lose.
You mentioned the confluence of things that has to happen for a college team to succeed. Certainly the landscape is completely different now with NIL. What do you make of all of it? How do you feel about it?
I love it. I just think that it's brand new and it has to have some governance. That's what I think. You're not going to stop people paying what they're going to pay, because now you can have the Jazz pay for the kid, BYU. People like, hold up. When people look at BYU, I'm like, BYU, their system is great. They think. They're smart. So don't sleep on that. So him going there, that's a smart move for him to not only be successful, but also help that school elevate. And he's from there, so I think it's a great move. So I like NIL. I just think it needs to have a governance. And, not everybody's going to make that type of money that he's making.
How much of that stuff was happening behind the scenes when you were getting recruited and going to college?
What happened? I don't know.
Don't know what I'm talking about at all. I'm not accusing you. Nor am I asking you to rat anyone out.
That would never happen.
What was the most amount of money you heard somebody getting?
I don't know about guys getting money. All I know is this. Okay. When I was in high school, they sent a private jet to pick me up to go, as they say on ABC, they whisked me away.
Wow, that's an old school reference. That's kind of like a Bachelorette reference. I wasn't expecting that from you, Stephon, but all right, okay.
I'm telling you, it's a lot of stuff you don't know about me, okay? But when they said, Bobby Cremins, he came and he whisked Stephon Marbury away to Georgia Tech. And then when we landed in Atlanta, right? I don't know where they get this shot from, but it was a long angle shot shooting on the runway. And I'm getting off the plane. I'm this little black kid. I've been on a plane before, but I ain't never been on a private plane. And I'm getting on the plane. I'm like, I can get used to this. And then Bobby Cremens, he picks me up. We jump into a Mitsubishi Del Monte. I think that's the name of it. White cream, and drives me to the Hawks game and sits me on the front row. And then I told my mother, I said, I'm going to Georgia Tech.
Wow.
My coach said, Stephon, if you tell everybody you're going to Georgia Tech right now, they're going to go on probation. I said, I ain't take one dime, coach. He was like, I don't care. You can't tell everybody you're going to Georgia Tech right now. Because I called him, I said, Coach, this is where I want to go to school. I'm going to Georgia Tech. I'm going to Georgia Tech. He was like, calm down.
Wow.
They set it out. They did it so right. And I mean, I couldn't leave. I was like, there's no way. And Boeheim told me, after he told me that, literally, he came, he sat down, 5 minutes, my brothers went just like this. They both got up and they left.
Uh-huh.
They left, and I sat there and I was looking at him, I was like, why you say that?
Well, Stephon, man.
I said, why you say that? Just like that. I said, why you say that?
Uh-huh.
And my mother was just sitting there. She was like,
How did Coach respond? What did he say?
I felt like the school told him, don't bring him here. His kid is talking about he's going to come to our school and he's going to leave in 1 year. Why are we recruiting a kid that's going to come to our school and leave in 1 year? And telling us that he's going to leave if he's a top 5 pick. I was very honest with them. Like I was very honest with the Minnesota Timberwolves, with the owner. I said, I'm not going to stay here. You should get somebody else so you won't lose, so your season won't be bad. I'm telling you I'm not going to resign here. Nobody don't normally come to you and tell you that. I said, I'm being straight up with you. So for the rest of my life, me and you going to be on the same page, Mr. Taylor. 50 years from now, and he was like, wow, Stephon, that's pretty amazing. Same thing, Boeheim, I was like, you know, I'm not going there now. I was like, he knew I wanted to go there. I was at his house, Boeheim. That's a violation. I'll give you that. That's a violation. I was at their cribs. I was going to their house. I was going to the Carrier Dome, busting everybody, giving it to them. I was making a name for myself in the Carrier Dome. I was like 40,000 people. Oh, it's over with. That's all I was thinking about. They shattered that. He shattered that in 5 seconds.
You said something interesting about Kobe. Do you think as we've gotten further from his career,
You mean from him being here?
From him being, well, from him, I was going to say that as well, of course, but also from the career, do you think people are looking at it now maybe in a different context than they were like when he first retired or even when he first died?
In which way?
Well, you said making the case of one of the greats, if not the. I mean,
when I say that, let's not make no mistake. I think Michael Jordan is the greatest and best basketball player to ever touch a basketball. I really rarely put Michael Jordan in the same category. I only do because the question is asked. But when I look at Kobe Bryant, I look at a pure mirror image carbon copy of Michael Jordan. And at times, he showed flashes of being better when he scored 81 points, because Jordan never did that. And we never seen that before. So when you see that type of frequency as an NBA basketball player in that space, watching a player in that space, you know that you've never been in that space, but you've been in that realm where you were going in that place. You got what I'm saying? Like 50 points is a lot of points. 60 points is a lot. 70 points is a lot. But 80, that's different. You know what I'm saying? It's like 20 more to 100 is, you know, so to like see him play like that, I give him the one of, if not the first, because I don't really give jobs. I kind of like keep trying to tell people, Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron. It could possibly go a different way with LeBron. It could go a different way, but
what's the factor?
LeBron 3. I mean, Magic Johnson is my favorite of all time. By far, it never will change. I think Magic Johnson, to me, is the best basketball player as a guard, like that's who I idolize my game after. With adding Kevin Johnson, Isaiah, Tim Hardaway, the little guys, adding those guys' game. But overall, Magic, that's what I thought was it. How you supposed to play the game, everything. How we were brought up. I come from that era. And Magic can be in that. But when I look at what hype and what media and, what's been done, it can sway opinion. I go off of play from Jordan and Kobe. Why I say those two guys are my favorite of when I watch from old clips of guys playing, and I played against all three of those guys. So I don't speak from a space of, as some people say when I say something about LeBron, hate. I'm like, so everything I say about the game, if I say something, if it's not good, then it's hate. I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna hate me. You better get used to it, because this is gonna hurt. It's gonna bother you a lot, because I'm home now and I'm serious that I'm gonna say what I see. Okay, you can get mad at what that's okay, but it's only sports. It's only basketball. Don't take it. We don't want to bring it to that. We can, but we don't want to bring it to that. So when I look at these guys and I say, these guys are amazing. Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, Magic. Like, you literally got to be that size to do that, though. Like, to see guys like Isaiah and Tiny Archibald do what they did, and Oscar Robertson, and Allen Iverson, they special. They different. Those guys are elite.
You got a good MJ story?
I got a lot of MJ stories, but...
What's one you can tell me?
I don't know if I should be talking about this one. It's basketball, but the first time we beat them, okay, the Timberwolves never beat the Chicago Bulls. When I got to the Timberwolves first time they made it to the playoffs is the year I got there. Okay, and then after that we started making the playoffs. Okay, the first time we beat the Bulls, I was hyped. And everybody was basically trying to tell me to calm down, but I was really excited. I was like, we just beat the Bulls. We just beat Michael Jordan and them. And Doug West, who got to guard Michael Jordan the next time, he's pissed at me. He's mad. All of the other guys, they mad. They like, you don't got to guard him. So the next time we played them, Mike had like 40 before the third quarter almost. And they was just looking at me like, you got him. And they beat us bad. Because I took the ball and I threw the ball in the bleachers, and Dennis Rodman and them, they was all talking bad about it. It was like, this little mother, basically, we just beat them. So, he was just like, but him, that guy right there, I became that guy right there because of that. I didn't take the humble approach of beating Jordan and them. But I ain't really give a about them dudes like that during that time. Excuse my language. That was just my mentality and how I got down. I went at them and I just looked at it like that. That's how I felt like how they felt going into it when they was going at the older dudes, and that's basically how I felt. It was only basketball. It is what it is. I'm just telling you what it is. It's 100.
So you mentioned the Knicks earlier, how you enjoy watching them play now. What were your initial thoughts when you heard about the trade for Karl Anthony Towns?
I loved it. I mean, I support what they're doing. They're making basketball decisions, and as a basketball player, as a guy who coached, I can see what they're trying to do. Like, I can see the makeup of our team. I can look at our team and I can say, I see where Cat fills in a void in a role, and how they mix and how they match with each other. And I promised the God, I was talking to my mom, and my mom, she's not a big basketball person. She's not a big basketball person. She's not she was talking about Stephon, that boy Jalen Brunson, he could play. She's like, him and Cat, they play similar to like how you and Kevin played. And I'm like, Mom, are you serious? And she's like, I'm telling you, Stephon, them two boys, when they play, they different on the court. And I'm like, Mom, okay.
You and Stephon. They play like you and Stephon.
She called me and Stephon.
Brunson and Towns, they play like who? Who and who?
Kevin Garnett.
Oh.
Remember how Kevin?
Yeah, they play. Brunson and Kevin Garnett. Brunson and Towns, you think they play like me and Kevin Garnett?
Yeah, well, because he knows where he at. You see that? That's how Kevin was. You and Kevin was. I never seen nothing. I never seen two people play so good together. Y'all knew at all times to play. Y'all knew where the ball was at and everything. But they're gonna be good now, the Knicks. They coming up now, you know. And that's what I say. You see, first of all, you got to get the people. If you ain't got the right people, and then one thing, another thing, you have to have that attitude. You know, nobody is bigger than nobody, and that's how you gonna win. That's a team. Oh God, I say because y'all well, I guess it's you there, but I know I'm gonna be looking at you tomorrow because I couldn't find you the other time.
That's incredible.
This organic, you can't make. This lady is so funny. I had to record. I was like, "What you say?" I was like, "What you just now say about basketball?" She said, "Yeah, I watched the game." She said, "That boy could play Stephon."
Hey, sports fans, if you want to see more conversations with athletes and stars, check out these videos right here and be sure to subscribe for more from USA Today Sports.